Brothers, we've been blessed. Papa Arrowhead is back, and they've delivered us a fine new present by the name of the Deadeye, the R6 Deadeye, a Winchester lever-action rifle of death.
This is like your favorite weapon right now, isn't it?
I love it. It gets me happy in the pants.
What do you like about this thing?
Dude, I just feel powerful. I like the fact that just the aesthetic of the weapon, and the fact that you have to reload after every shot, and just its overall aesthetic nature, that's a plus. What I really do enjoy from a technical standpoint is the fact that it staggers enemies in the manner that it does, particularly medium-sized enemies, because it's medium armor penetrating. So that off the rip kind of gives you time in between shots to line up the next one, and it does so much damage that you're more or less decimating everything in front of you as far as basic enemies go, whether it's bots, bugs, or Illuminate nasty fucks. You're doing a decent job over single enemy units that are not like quote-unquote bosses.
Like, not the elite enemies.
Correct.
I think it's cool, like, aesthetically, like you said. I mean, you and I have talked about this before. We both want, like, in real life, actual life, a lever-action rifle.
Yeah.
And I don't think either of us have one, but those...
No, we're
that
not
would
cool
be
enough yet.
not cool enough yet.
That's why we live vicariously through Helldivers 2. That's why we play it so much.
And... yeah, and I like that feel, like that the lever action feel seems nice, and surprisingly you can shoot a lot faster than you think you can.
Yeah, dude, you're like a gold medalist in the Olympics with this bad boy. What's your favorite faction to go against? Like, or better yet, rank them for me. What do you think? Not only is what your favorite, but what do you think it's most successful against?
So, I love it against the Illuminate.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Because
go on.
I like to slow down. I like the slow pace, the marksman game style, and I think that the Illuminate kind of allow for that. And the reason being is, like, I could take a guard dog. So my guard dog's dealing with the voteless for me, and I just get to focus on the overseers. And
that's good strategy.
Yeah, dude. So I like it there.
All right. I hate it against the Illuminate.
Oh,
I can't stand it. It's my least favorite against the Illuminate. I think it's definitely the most challenging to me. But then again, I don't take a guard dog. So when the voteless swarm you, and you're trying to focus on the overseers, with that weapon in particular, that type of weapon, I'm just not so successful. I don't enjoy the process.
So you're gonna say you like it the best on bots, I'm guessing.
Dude, the automatons, it does better than I thought it would. I mean,
right.
You tear through these units. You do a very good job outside of like front-facing hulks and larger armored enemies. But for the primary chaff in the automaton faction, it's a beauty. It's gorgeous, truly it is.
It's gotta be better than the Diligence, right? And that was the prime weapon before.
Well, I don't know if it's better. It's definitely comparable. You know, the Diligence obviously has range on it. It has a higher rate of fire. Your reloads are going to be quicker. And as far as damage goes, I mean, granted, I don't have the screen in front of me, but I feel like they're even. Is there a damage difference? I don't know off the top of my head.
I'm looking at some numbers right now on the Helldivers fandom wiki. I don't know if they're accurate, but it says the Diligence counter snipers 200 damage, while the Deadeye is 300. So if that's accurate,
shit.
the Deadeye does more.
Bro, the Deadeye like saws enemies in half.
Yeah,
it
does
crazy.
a lot. It does a lot.
I want to mention the bugs, obviously. I'll say the bots are my favorite. It's so much fun against the bugs. There's a certain satisfaction going against the bugs, really, in any capacity. They just bring something unique to the table. But bringing a lever-action rifle into the thick of combat and like having the siege-ready armor on, so you reload quicker.
Which that works.
Oh,
the siege
dude,
ready works for
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, it's
I thought
absolutely.
they changed the Siege Ready recently. Didn't they change it so it only worked on magazine guns? Or is that just confabulation in my head?
Could I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What the fuck is confabulation? I've never heard that word in my life.
Okay,
is
so
that a
I
real
know,
word?
I know what it means. So I'm gonna explain to you what it means, but then I'm gonna look it up because I don't want to be wrong. Confabulation is like a false memory. So it's like you're remembering something as though it happened, but it didn't happen.
All right, well, look it up because now we all need to know. I want to know right now.
Confabulation.
False memory.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. A neuropsychiatric disorder wherein a patient generates a false memory without intention of deceit.
Oh, good shit.
Cool. Okay. Anyways, that was. I thought that there was a change to that because remember, and this isn't really important to the Deadeye, but you remember that when that Siege Ready armor came out, people were like, "Oh, there's a bug and it works for your secondary and blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
And I think I remember, and somebody in the comments, please tell us if this is true. I think I remember them saying, "Hey, we know you guys like this, so we're gonna update the Siege Ready armor to work on all weapons, primary, secondary, support weapons, if it's a magazine weapon. So not like a round reload."
Interesting. I might have fucking confabulated.
Yeah.
I might have confabulated the circumstance. Maybe it's a confabulation of the mind. I don't remember. I feel like it reloaded quicker.
But that you might be right because the Siege Ready armor still says primary weapons. So the text toolbox doesn't.
No, I don't know. Well, either way, that shit against the bugs is a lot of fun, especially if you play with no HUD like we do. There's a certain sense of happy times you get when you're popping bugs from a distance with no reticle. Feels
So
nice.
I don't like it against the bugs, and my reason is like I know I said I bring the guard dog, but I don't bring the guard dog for bugs because I think you lose the most fun part of bugs, which is when you're surrounded and you're trying to fight your way out of battle. So like if you bring the guard dog, you kind of lose that with bugs. And I don't think the Deadeye is fast enough for when you get surrounded. You're in a
See,
bad
that's what
situation.
I feel about the Illuminate. Your argument is how I feel about the Illuminate exactly.
Well, so then why is it different?
Because the voteless operate in a more menacing fashion, I think. The voteless... Here, I'll tell you this. It might be controversial, but I think the voteless are a far better chaff board, like primary infantry unit than, let's say, the hunters. Or the little... What do you even call the smallest bug unit? Do you know what that's called? The ones that are always summoning
The termite-looking fucks.
Yeah, are they called termite-looking fucks?
I think that's the biological name.
All right, good to know. Yeah, fun fact, I don't know what those little bugs are called, and they're the most prevalent, of course. All right, I'm sorry, I'm getting off track, but nonetheless, I think the voteless have a superior infantry unit. They are a superior infantry unit, and while you're rocking the Deadeye with the way you have to reload and dealing with the swarms on top of getting shot at from the overseers that are taking advantage of the swarms, whereas the bugs, you don't have, for the most part, you don't have like a series of melee units attacking you and a series of ranged units attacking you like you do with the Illuminate. And because of that, I feel like I'm at such a disadvantage.
I think you make a very good point. I think it is actually my favorite on the box. I think you're right.
And the overseers move, bro. Like, especially playing with no HUD. I don't have any reticles in my jammies, so I can't zoom in on these overseers and take like prim and proper shots. So I miss some of them too, especially when they're trying to jetpack away from you.
Right. So, question though. And we have to talk about this because people are making this comparison anyways. How does it compare to the Constitution?
Well, okay, you can say they're comparable weapons because you have one. The Constitution, if I'm not mistaken, is like a musket, right? Don't you load it like
it's the one with the bayonet. No, you don't load it like a musket. It's a bolt-action rifle, no scope, with a bayonet on the end.
I like them both, right? I do like the Constitution because it comes with that bayonet, and that's unique in and out of itself, and I enjoy that, especially against going against bugs. We've had I think, a lot of fun times with the Constitution, just forcing ourselves to play with that and trying to survive the hordes. The Winchester is just a different... It's like a different side of the same coin, because they're similar rifles outside of the reloads.
They have similar pacing, like in terms of, you know, like fire, break, fire, break, fire, break. But I think that, you know, the Constitution people say is a meme weapon, and I'm not a fan of it being that. So, like, I get if the developers wanted to give us something cool, but it's in the game, it should be usable. And I think it's just barely shy of being usable right now. And the Deadeye solves that. I don't know. So, is there a place for the Constitution anymore?
Yeah, dude, it has a freaking bayonet. I'll use the Constitution tonight when I get a drop in, and I'll probably have a blast.